everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of 10 Minute Tuesday. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe. In today's episode, we got Miss DeNisha Malone, Microsoft MVP, Memphis representative in the building. What's going on, DeNisha? How you doing?
Hey, good, good. Hey,
Good,
everybody.
good. Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the podcast today. We've done a number of these, so DeNisha, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, well, I'm DeNisha Malone, born and raised in Memphis. I am the Power BI queen, travel the world helping people adopt and learn Power BI as a tool. And I'm just excited to just be here and share some whatever I can share.
Awesome. I love it. So Power BI Queen, been doing this for a number of years, but at a certain point you had to get your start. So what really compels you to get into data to even begin with?
Well, I shout out to Professor Mark Gillinson. I took a professor in college in my undergrad career, and he wrote the book on database management. I was a database management course, and I was one of four who passed his class out of 30. And I was so interested in just the fact he wrote the book. So I paid really close attention, and he hired me as a SQL tutor. And so I tutored SQL for about 3 to 4 years after that, and it's just stuck. I knew it was my calling.
Wow. So one class, one book, got into it, started
Yep,
teaching, and then boom, I'm hooked. That's what it
literally.
is.
Mhm.
Wow. Love that. Love that. So you had a journey to go into and be in the data world, but I like to ask this question in the context of when I was 16, I was a construction worker, and I would never go back into construction. Right. So thinking about that in mind, what's been your least favorite job to date that you've ever had?
Mm, I FedEx overnight throwing boxes at FedEx. I think everyone in Memphis probably did that at least one time, and I did that in college, and I hated that job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brutal. It's relentless. Like people
Mhm.
don't understand like the uh effort that it takes to get that stuff in and just how
Yeah,
exhausted you are.
it's very exhausting. It's like pants. You got to play Tetris with the boxes so they fit in bills. I hated it.
Did you do it undergrad for college tuition and just
It
hustle
was
through it?
undergrad to pay. I lived off campus, so I had to pay my rent, and that paid my rent, and it was 8 hours overnight. And I'm just a girl, so I shouldn't. That's not. It was not for me. So I was happy to transition out of that into internships. So that's how I moved out of that space.
Love it, love it. All right, so there's a philosophy I live by. It's called failing forward. And ultimately in life, everything you go through is never a failure, right? You're just learning whatever you're supposed to learn in that moment and take that and apply it to your next step. So thinking about that in your career, what would you consider your biggest failure, quotation marks, and then what you really learn from the experience?
I think we have the same philosophy because that's as you say that I'm like, what did I? So let's think failing forward. So I worked my first company out of college was acquired by Amazon, and I'm a Power BI girl, so Amazon's not Power BI, and I took on that role thinking that I would just learn QuickSight and enjoy it, and I did it. And so but that helped me fall forward to understand what I did not like. And it also helped me land this job. So I sought out for like Microsoft roles, and that's kind of what brought me here. So I accepted that thing, and I was not great at that role because I just didn't like anything that was going on. But here I am. So I
Yeah.
learned to just go for the things that you think you can't do, and it's always a journey. So no matter if it's a bumpy journey or a smooth journey, just take it.
Love it, love it. And I feel like as developers, especially people who are like analytical, we get so much in our head of like, I got to go this route. I got to figure this thing out because I've already processed, analyzed it. And sometimes you just got to go for it and be like, no, I don't like that. And it really pulls you into the way that the things that you do
Mhm.
like.
For sure. And that's important.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. So the target audience for this are people who are either getting into data or they're transitioning into data or somehow this popped up on their algorithm and they're just like, I like 10 Minute Tuesday. Right. So with that in mind, what's one lesson? I'm sorry. What is one piece of advice you give someone who's just starting out in their career?
Network. I preach networking like it's like I wrote a book about it or something, which I should probably. But I think that's like my biggest advice is just to find people and be confident, find confidence in your voice. And that could just be in a social space of a user group or even in a professional space of like your job. But just find like those ERGs within your company, find user groups that are local, find random people on LinkedIn, not random, I shouldn't say that, but find people on LinkedIn and like introduce yourself if they're in your dream job. Like the worst thing someone could say is no or maybe ignore you, but at least you're doing it. And so huge advice is just to network. Everything that I have that's phenomenal or like mind blowing, or sometimes I wake up and can't believe I did it, is because I knew somebody. So yep.
Love it. Networking. So I guess a follow up to that, all right, someone who is not comfortable with networking, they're like, I go to these conferences and all I do is go to content. I don't really talk to anybody, right? Or if I go to these meetups and I just consume the content, I don't really fight talking to anybody. What is one strategy or one tool that you would give someone to get them out of the comfort zone of not networking?
Um Start with your friends. So find places you are comfortable in. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's not a professional gathering, but something that like maybe you like pottery. Like I like making charcuterie boards and I like to dance. Do something that's based on your hobby and get comfortable meeting new people in that space and then let it translate into the professional thing. Or find people like me who don't mind showing you how to network, and I don't mind you tripping over your words. Like I help students who have no clue what networking is, a lot of them. So, find a comfort zone in it. And it's usually always like in a hobby area, something that you probably are really good at, and outside of work. And then meet people in that space and keep doing it until you are comfortable enough to do it professionally. And just do it. Like it really is, you're gonna be uncomfortable, but that's really how you grow. Like you really grow in the uncomfortable spaces. So
Yeah. Just do it. Just talk to people.
just
Everybody's
do
human.
it.
Just be like, hey,
Everyone is
what's your
human.
name?
I say that so much. Like that's literally, I say that so much. It should be like tatted on my skin. Like everyone is human. We all wake up and we go to sleep. Hopefully, if you're healthy, but we all do the same thing. We breathe. So don't be afraid to talk to another human.
Love it. Love it. All right, DeNisha, tell me about the most influential people in your life and how they made an impact on you.
So because I like networking, that list is so long. But if I had to name some people, I'll say Jen D. Richards because she was my first uncomfortable conversation. She's my first uncomfortable conversation in college. She was leading a user group at the university, and I was the only student there, and she was like the head of the group. But I went up to her, and like now she's my best friend. So that relationship came a really long way, and she helped me along the way, just with my professionalism and developing into who I am. So she's one. Mark Gillinson, of course, because he wrote a book about database management, and that changed my life. Um, I'll just leave it at those two. Not say Kelly. Let me throw a few more people out there. I, I'm gonna leave it there because I don't want to keep going and then somebody say she didn't say my
She
name.
didn't say my
So
name. Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
I'll say those two because Jandy, of course, like she's really the first person I was uncomfortable with, and like now I'm at her house for every holiday. And of course, Mark Ellison. That's just I can't believe that I came so far from his course. And when I moved back to Memphis, I actually moved back here to buy a home. Because I'm into agriculture, so I bought a home on some land, and I wanted to go see him. So I went to the university and I sat in his office and thanked him, and he signed his textbook. Like I was like a freaking fangirl. I was like, "Can you sign this?" But I just wanted to let him know that he made such a huge difference in my life by just taking a chance on me and hiring me as a tutor, and trusting me to teach his students and to guide his students. It helped me so much with just being comfortable with people, and it did so much in my life. So I had to throw him in there.
Big shout out. Shout out to the two. We know you know a million, but shout out to them, man.
Yes, for sure,
Awesome.
right.
Love it. Love it. All right, Denisha, where can listeners find you at online?
What was the question?
Where can listeners find you at online?
If you Google me, I'm the first three pages of Google, so you can pick your choice. Yes,
Hey.
Google my name and you can find me all up and through there. So I'm super proud of my of that presence I've created. And a lot of this is just because I'm in everyone's face. So back then, before COVID, the SQL Saturdays, I was just pop up at anyone around the world just because I could. And so that helped me just create a presence online. So find me there. I'm on LinkedIn, of course. That's probably the really only place that I'll respond. If you want some response from me, find me on LinkedIn and we can go from there.
Appreciate it. Y'all heard her. Google her, follow her, get her content, get her likes up, get the content, get the algorithm going. So appreciate you. Thank you, DeNisha, for taking time out today. This was great.
Thank you for having me. Thank
No
you for having
problem.
me.
No problem. And as I said in the beginning, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Y'all have a great day.